Next episode is started recording. Address the Chantry in Val Royale. See the schedule and go do the same thing and you go back to nights. Oh god. Part of me is like, I really hope the day schedule is so good for the stream that then I don't have to go back to it. But I doubt that's gonna happen. Who knows though? The remaining Chantry clerics have declared the Inquisition heretical. Attempts to gather allies against the breach have been rebuffed. At this moment, we cannot step foot into the capital without being attacked by a mob or arrested. We must convince the Chantry to permit us entry into the city, so we can show them the Herald of Andraste is not the monster they believe. We're getting to levels 4 to 7. We are level 6 and our party's level 5, so we're right in the middle of that, so let's try it.
Having the Herald address the clerics is not a terrible idea.
You can't be serious.
Mother Giselle isn't wrong. At the moment, the Chantry's only strength is that they are united in opinion.
And we should ignore the danger to the Herald.
Let's ask him.
This may not actually help. This is a terrible plan. I'm not worried. I'm gonna go with kind of the middle thought on this. Maybe I am the monster they need.
I'm more concerned this won't actually solve any problems.
Look how fancy I look now.
I agree. It just lends credence to the idea that we should care what the Chantry says.
I will go with him. Mother Giselle said she could provide us names. Use them.
But why? This is nothing but a...
What choice do we have, Liliana? Right now, we can't approach anyone for help with the breach. Use what influence we have to call the clerics together. Once they are ready, we will see this through.
The remaining Chantry clerics have declared the Inquisition heretical. Yeah, we read that. All right, let's go. Achievement unlocked. Speak only the word. Gain power and influence by sealing fade rifts, establishing new camps, and completing quests, as well as claiming keeps, fulfilling requisitions, and recruiting agents. Secret agent, man. I always want to say Asian. I hear that song. Fritz, thank you for the follow, by the way. I think I forgot to thank you. I'm sorry, Fritz. Do appreciate the follow, though. Would be an agent. Secret one. You're thinking more like Austin Powers or super secret, super serial. Oh, Al Gore. Okay. All right, I'm in the city with my nipples out. Sippy.
Just a guest seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of
Secret agent.
observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
Cannot confirm or deny.
My Lord Herald.
You're one of Leliana's people. What have you found?
The Chantry mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Only one thing to do, then.
These cutscenes with this outfit on is
They wish to protect the people?
interesting.
From us?
Stupid Templars.
You think the Order's return to the fold, maybe? To deal with us upstarts?
I know Lord Seeker Lucius. I can't imagine him coming to the Chantry's defense. Not after all that's occurred. Return to Haven. Someone will need to inform them if we are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
The avenue of her reflective thought, inscribed upon a plaque. Our Lady and the actors of her rise and fall, her message and visage, are worth repeating. Are all these? Holy crap. Mephrath's remorse. Beneath, scratched by a vandal. At meeting a low door frame. I'm not going to read all these. I need to check if that shield that we got is better than Cassandra's old shield. Yeah, it's absolutely better. Quite a bit better. All right. What? It doesn't auto fill those regen potions when you first get them. You have to go to like going to the camp places or something. Wow, Ole. It's as fancy as they told me about in Origins. Plaques everywhere. That's how you know it's a quality place. Kill the old world. There would probably be a Logain statue. Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. The Emporium of Mortal Means. For all matters defensive concern, offensive intent, and study of arts martial, and with sanction magical. Hello, merchants. Hey, buddy, welcome back. How's it going, buddy?
Until this fast is over, at least. Too many swords out.
It won't let us go to like the shop stuff. How's it going, buddy? Welcome in. Why do they have the gallows erected? Yeah, I guess we won't be doing very much exploring in this town until we possibly depicted killing you. Not of heroes, united in hatred. If we are re-examining motive, let us not stop at the sons of the betrayer. The first leader of young Orlais after the sons was Jashavus, Chattel, wife of two of them, but examine the facts. A proud daughter of the Syrian, chosen not unkindly by Izarath to be his bride. It was her reach that granted him power to unify... Hey, they leveled. Consider what she witnessed in the consolidation of her people. She has always been portrayed with sadness. But what if, when our nation was born, the game was born with it? Judge her actions not as property, but as master. And what changes? As victim, Izarath, rumored cruel, breaks the clans in a lust for power. His brother, Verald, exiled from his own machinations in young Navarra, appeals to the saddened wife and promises a new path. The brothers vie, and Verald wins, and then demand the hand of Jashavus. I'm guessing that's not pronounced that way, but it's how I'm pronouncing it until I hear it in game. Another Ferelden greedy for power. In a decade, the shy victim Jashavus is the figurehead of the people's rebellion against the last son of the betrayer. As master bound to rivalries far older, she harbors a hatred beyond Tevinter. And while Izarath is distracted with personal concerns or with building a nation to withstand his own people's enemy, she invites the broken brother and sets him against the driven. While accepting marriage to the victor, Jashavus seeds a rebellion among those who remember how their lands were taken not a generation before. This is like the longest one so far. Both leave her as a ruler, as Gyoja, but should not the rule of a victim be uncertain? Jashavus rules for 42 years. There were no great swings backward, no people's retribution, for she had become accustomed. If the goal of Izarath were selfish, and the goal of Jashavus was to reverse them, then Orlais is born of the failure of both. But if Izarath built his father's wall and Jashavus wanted revenge, then we are a nation of two successes, two parents, in opposition, but in partnership. Hashtag casual gallows. Just got home from surgery. Do you mind me asking what for? You don't have to answer, of course, but hopefully it went well. Must have been the like outpatient procedure if you're already out. So it's good at least. I'm doing all right, getting used to this day's schedule. Slowly but surely. All right. What do I want to get next on her? I would like to end up getting the cutting words thing. Let's get charging bull and then we'll get cutting words. Bladder stretching, pelvic injections. Gotcha. Stay the night, but with COVID, go home same day now. Gotcha. So not the first time then, huh? Well, probably much better to be home. But glad you're doing all right. Did you get your stuff set up, by the way? Solus, let's see. Let's give him revival. So he can res from a distance. Number 47. Whoa. 47. Jeez. This is like just a routine now for you then. If learned to pick apart enemies, do more damage to enemies that are higher health. What can we switch this to? Instant by full draw or knocked briefly unconscious by the power of your shot. Sleep duration 20 seconds. Sleep, you can usually wake people up by hitting them. That's real life too. Enemies hit by full draw are immobilized. Okay. Long shot. He uses that a whole lot. Long shot now rips through every enemy along its path, doing bonus damage for each one hit. Long shot now deals even more damage at greater ranges. So we're gonna capture card came in though. That's been fun to play with. Yeah, like I said, I think after you told me what you wanted yours for, what you got should be fine. One of the things that you might have problems with is audio. Capture cards in general can have a really tough time no matter which one you get with audio. Being slightly delayed or being staticky or something like that. Hopefully you don't run into those issues, but if you do run into them, just know that they're pretty common. I'm sure you can find some help with someone from the exact same card, but still tweaking the audio. After striking a target with a leaping shot, you retreat safely into the shadows, disappearing into stealth. That seems pretty good. If leaping shot hits, you can use the momentum of your leap to do a stronger draw as you come back to your feet. Your next attack, whenever you make it, will knock down its target. Those are both good, and you can only get one or the other. Each consecutive hit with a bow attack does progressively more damage to the target. That also seems really good too, especially on tanky characters or bosses. These are all good. Explosive shot. I guess I'm just gonna grab pincushion for now. Oh, you have to get this. You can't come up that way. All right, we'll come down this way then. Alrighty, buddy. Thank you for the lurk. Oh my god, I'm a 1. Alright, no, not anymore. Now I'm back to my nippley self. Fast travel.
Stand wary, guardsman.
Look at these.
The Inquisition is here, along with the Herald of Andraste.
Respect to Duke Stefan of Val Montaigne. Uh-oh.
Good people of Val Royal, hear me. Together, we mourn our divine. A naive and beautiful heart, silenced by treachery. You wonder what will become of a murderer. Well,
I didn't murder her.
no more. Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet. No servant of anything beyond his selfish greed.
Let us talk peacefully. You don't even know me. This is all hearsay.
We came here in peace, simply to talk. And this is what you do. I implore you, let us sit down together to deal with the real threat.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to end this madness before it is too late.
It is already too late. The Templars have returned to the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition, and the people will be safe once more.
Don't make me kill these guys. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
Saved me the trouble. Not here for us then? How dare you? Am I supposed to be impressed that you knocked this old woman out?
Was that display supposed to impress me?
On the contrary, it wasn't for you at all.
Lord Seeker Lucius, it's imperative that we speak with...
You will not address me.
Lord Seeker?
Creating a heretical movement, raising up a puppet as Andraste's prophet, you should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. The Templars failed no one when they left the Chantry to purge the mages. You are the ones who have failed. You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect is mine.
Join, as Cullen did. I help us close the breach. You refuse the Herald? Then why are you here? You know what? My goal is to close the breach. I feel like this. I'm going to get into a situation of an answer. So in the first game, what really got me in trouble was I was acting as a Grey Warden, like Duncan had taught me, and it was very black and white. It was anything that helped stop the blight was yes. Didn't matter. Whatever you want me to do. You want me to kill those children over there? If it'll somehow stop the blight, absolutely done. Dead children, like anything. We would do anything to stop the blight. Duncan was proud. That got me into trouble. I probably shouldn't just be like, close the breach at all costs, no matter who. Let's ask why he's here.
If you're not here to help the Chantry, then you just came to make speeches.
I came to see what frightens old women so, and to laugh.
But Lord Seeker, what if he really was sent by the Maker?
Yeah.
What if...
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
I will
Obey.
make the Templar Order a power that stands alone against the Void. We deserve recognition. Independence.
Independence.
You have shown me nothing, and the Inquisition, less than nothing. Templars, Val Royo is unworthy of our protection. We march.
Less than nothing. I showed him negative things.
Charming fellow.
Forgot how much you hated that guy.
Has Lord Seeker Lucius gone mad?
How well do you know him?
Do you know him very well?
He took over the Seekers of Truth 2 years ago, after Lord Seeker Lambert's death. He was always a decent man, never given to ambition and grandstanding. This is very bizarre.
Do you think he'll see reason?
Do you think he can be reasoned with?
I hope so. If not him, there are surely others in the Order who don't feel as he does. Either way, we should first return to Haven and inform the others.
You don't like the old woman either, but at least she was just scared. Yeah, not out of his mind, so. Alright. Hello, Belle.
Templars left. The Chantry promised they'd defend us.
Is what they're saying real? The Inquisition's going to fix the hole in the sky?
It's true.
That's what we're attempting, yes.
No one is doing anything. The Chantry's useless, and the Templars... Andraste... I never thought they'd abandon us. Listen, your camp will need food. I have contacts. We'll have deliveries there in days.
You want to help the Inquisition?
Never been part of something this big before, but if your Inquisition's going to seal the sky, I want to help.
What do you think, Cassandra?
I think the woman is asking you and not me.
Well, he is.
the Herald of Andraste. Yes, I understand. Haven is a mess, but we won't turn away anyone willing to help. Invite her, if it pleases you.
No, thank you. I'm not gonna turn down free food. Are you crazy?
Head to Haven then. We need good people.
I don't know if I'm that, but it will be nice to see. Thank you.
Nice. Nice. All right. Let's make a loop around here and just see what all we can talk to. Who all we can talk to, what we can interact with.
What's that? An arrow with a message?
Who will fetch their Templars back, I wonder?
Whoa, that was a loud arrow. So they were like persons that brim the I'm right, you all suck. Yeah, no, I think you're on the money there. I think you're meant to dislike him for sure. Favors for friends. A message is attached, written in a large flowing hand and bordered with doodles. People say you're special. I want to help, and I can bring everyone. There's a baddie in Val Royeaux. I hear he wants to hurt you. Have a search for the red things in the market, the docks, and around the cafe, and maybe you'll meet him first. Bring swords. Friends of Red Jenny. A poor drawing of the locations in the market is attached. Come back for work. Hey, King. Welcome in, man. Yeah, it's really weird, but I'm glad. It seems like it's... When I did the poll, it seemed like about half of people were... they liked the schedule better, and then half, of course, dislike it, but yeah. Glad you're able to come in. Emperor Florian. Grand Duke Florian was not supposed to ascend to the Orlesian throne. His elder brother, Emperor Judicael II, had 2 twin sons and thus a very secure line. Florian was free to pursue other interests, none of which revolved around the game. Indeed, the imperial court largely ignored him, and that was how he liked it. All that is recorded of that era is that he married, produced a single daughter, and afterwards showed little interest in her. An outbreak of the 100 Days Cough in 877 Blessed changed his plans. Both of Judicael's sons perished, as did Florian's daughter. Racked by grief, Judicael lost interest in ruling, turning over all matters pertaining to the rebellion in Ferelden to his advisors, and instead spending his time hunting in the country. When Judicael was thrown from his horse during a fox hunt in 884 Blessed Age, Florian was suddenly vaulted into the throne. Famously, his response to the Chevaliers delivering the news at the estate is said to be, "This will not do at all." Sarah? A private and somewhat eccentric man, Florian limited his appearances at court and dealt almost exclusively with members of his own family. He was extremely particular about his habits of dress and grooming, eschewing current fashions for the sake of comfort, and refusing to wear cosmetics or powders of any kind due to an intense dislike of being dirty. Powerful and connected nobles who had served in the cabinet since his father's time were turned away in favor of his younger brother, Reynaud, his sister, Melisande, and his cousins. Children were banned from the palace, even the children of servants, with the exception of his nephew and nieces, who were tolerated only on the condition that they remain out of the emperor's sight. Regarding suggestions that Florian had his youngest cousin Megrin, or he and his cousin were lovers, the truth is uncertain. If such a relationship existed, it was no doubt kept private due to Florian's aversion to public life, and not from any fear of rumors. Such rumors, after all, were likely spread due to the emperor's refusal to sire another child, and thus secure his line. Many believe this failing would eventually lead to civil war. The only real evidence of a relationship with Megrin is a loud and very public argument that you had prior to Megrin's appointment, or exile, as he saw it, to the throne of Ferelden. Megrin is said to have called Florian "my darling," and neither man chose to explain the argument later. The predictions of civil war almost came to pass upon Florian's death in 919 Dragon Age. With no clear heir, the throne eventually passed to the only daughter of Grand Duke Reynaud, Celine, after a vicious struggle that threatened to consume the empire. Shoots a sub to Infernal Icon. Icon, welcome back. Shoots, welcome back, man. Thank you for the gift sub. I almost said resub. Thank you for resubbing Icon. Thank you, Shoots. Blackbird, thank you for the lurk. Much appreciated, Shoots. That was a big dump of information. Yeah, well, let's see what this says on the gallows. She of the highwayman repents. Gallows master, hold thy hand, hold it back a while. Callous juror, let me stand, let me bear a smile. For comes my brother distant, for comes my savior soon. I stand here most insistent, I will receive my boon. Fellow soldier, hold thy voice, hold it if you may. Fellow shoulders, show my choice, I am in your sway. For know my crime was cruel, and all my pain deserved. I stand here as a fool, despite my brother served. Mother dearest, look away, look into the sun. Others nearest, gone astray, you will be undone. For no more will I prattle, and no more will I pray. Hear you must the rattle, as life will fly away. It's poetry time with Adam. I can examine this tree. Le pomme viet morte. I don't know. It is said that the apples that grow near the gallows will be bitter on the tongue of a lover who will betray. It is also said, although by different people entirely, that unripened fruit should not be the only consideration when investigating matters of fidelity. The latter are lonely most evenings among the arbors of the summer bazaar. Wow. That's an interesting custom. Can you imagine going up to like your loved one and being like, eat this apple, and they bite it and you're like, how's it taste? Is it good? Is it bitter? They're like, you know what? It is a little bitter. Aha! I knew you were cheating on me. They're like, wait, what? You said that apple was bitter. Are you out of your friggin' mind?
My maker, know my heart. Take from me a life of sorrow. Comfort is only yours to give. Oh, maker, where is the comfort? Look away. I have broken the chant because it comes from my heart. What have we when our divine is dead and the sky burns?
He broke the chant. I remember that from the first game, and I'm gonna see what he says.
What do you mean you broke the chant?
Are you also ignorant of the Maker's most basic rights? The chant of light is how we honor the Maker. They are the only words that the faithful should hear from my lips. But I can't. Our divine is dead. Our Templars gone. The Maker's silence is deafening. What hope have we?
Mind giving me some background on what is Dragon Age and maybe some global lore? There's so much. Yeah, so what I would say, Gur King, the main lore that you need to know about Dragon Age and where the first game kind of starts is throughout these thousands and thousands of years, it was broken up into different ages depending on something that happened at the time that kind of marked a change in the world, or sometimes even in like reality. But the main thing you need to know about Dragon Age are the blights. So Dragon Age Origins, the first one, starts with the emergence of the fifth blight. I believe it's the fifth. And what a blight is long story short, demons start spilling out of the grounds and the underway and coming to wipe the world, like the living from the world, basically. And it doesn't. The reason why it takes these blights to happen is because the demons and stuff on their own, they're not like regimented and they're not like sent out with a purpose usually until there's an arc demon. And so arc demons are usually like fallen dragons that in a roundabout way kind of are like these evil or possessed demon dragons. But the point is, Dragon Age Origins starts with the fifth blight where demons are starting to come out of the ground and attack people and starting to take over the earth again. And you play as a Grey Warden. The Grey Wardens are this like ancient pact of warriors that from all over the world, actually, that fight the Darkspawn. That's what the demons are called, the Darkspawn. And they actually become kind of part demon because they to get on the level where they can fight the Darkspawn and know what they're going to do and whatnot, they have to actually drink demon blood as their initiation. And it kills about half of the people that try it. So anyway, they do that. You fight off the blight. You pretty much help in the blight in Dragon Age, but in doing so, lots of other things are going on politically around the blight, and there ends up being all this like fighting and warring and stuff, not just with demons, and that kind of carries through. Very long story short, it carries through from the first game all the way into this one. To fight the abyss, one must know it. It is a very heavy story-driven RPG game with tactical and action combat. Yeah, they're not exactly demons. I know, I was just kind of like, I was trying to find a way to give like the background of all the games in as easily understandable chunk as someone that's never heard of any of it can get. Yeah, there's so much lore and stuff to the games, but let's go on. Alaska, your favorite game of all time? Really? It's my first time playing it. The Inquisition will bring order.
The Inquisition can give you the answers you need.
So, I have a faith I've lost. Or one that seeks to drive it from me. I can't even look to our Templars. How is this not darkness?
Yeah, there's a lot to it. A lot of there's so much. There's so many codexes in here that are equal to like multiple real fantasy books. There's a lot.
You are the Herald of Andraste, are you not? I have an invitation for you.
Fire Enchanter Vivian, you are cordially invited to attend my salon, held at the Chateau of Duke Bastien de Gislin. Yours, Vivian de Feur, first Enchanter of Montemard, Enchanter to the Imperial Court. As much as I hear people talk about Warhammer stuff, which says a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of people's favorite like RPG series. Yeah, it's very lore heavy. Like when we played Dragon Age Origins on the stream probably a year and a half or so ago, it took us a couple of months of playing it once a week. Because I ended up reading like all the lore as we played. So I read like all the codexes and stuff. It took a long time. She sounds hot. What do you have to buy? Mainly looking at schematics and stuff. We just sold stuff not very long ago, so.
I am open to you and yours. I price at a premium for everyone, so don't assume it's because you're with the Inquisition.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever, lady. What do you got over here? What kind of merchant are you? Love the series because how they portray mages. Yeah, the mage thing is pretty interesting too. And all the different, well, I mean, the Circle of the Magi. I like the blood magic lore in the first one.
Especially the mages, just everything. I apologize.
Circles of demons, yeah.
Service, but we are now
Oh, I just remember the lust demon from the first one. How did I forget about that? Start to read all the gibberish lore. Larian games. Nice nips, thanks. They're out on display for everyone.
This cannot stand. How can it stand?
She's not jacking up prices for us. She's price gouging everyone. All right. A friend of Red Ginny. Oh, that's where we go for that one. Okay, and then we got two different ones. Let's hit this one first. I think there was 3 of those, right? 3 or 4 of them. La Masque de Lion. We cheered when honored was her might, but many more deserve a thought. For though she was the first a knight, her kin and kind have always fought. For a plaque? Yeah, if you go the human noble. The thing about that too is I had a problem with that. I don't remember what it was exactly, but we talked about it quite a bit on the stream. Like, we were thinking about ways that it didn't have to happen. No, not of heroes, Meferath in sacrifice. Andraste, our lady, the sword and the fire against Tevinter, betrayed to the Empire in exchange for our kingdom. Meferath now synonymous with the treachery. But would Andraste have won? And if not, what would we have lost? Let us look not just at the act, but at the why of it. As the armies of faith pierced the Imperial homeland, it was revealed not as a wave, but as an arrow. And as any hunter will attest, if your aim is not true, there is no returning to the bow. We must consider how much of Our Lady's victory to this point was against true Imperium, and how much was against the echoes of Empire. Andraste, the inspiration, may not have considered such, but Meferath, the general, fought for homeland, not visions. Was it victory or defeat that his betrayal held at bay? Meferath made the deal that killed Our Lady. That is fact. And when Andraste died, Meferath was gifted everything from the southern plains south. How generous and impossible to hold. This must have seemed. Let us look on Meferath and the legacy he divided among his sons, not with an eye for accusation, but from a tactical consideration. For he must have known that the mere rivals had never stopped Tevinter. Had never stopped Tevinter. What if he set about creating peers, and none of this was accident? How then fared Iserath, Evrian, and Verald? I mean, I guess they got a point. Like, if the betrayal with Andraste had not happened, would... God, the whole world would be different. Would she still be, would she still be like a holy figure at all? Your favorite themed playthrough on Wormworlds? I really liked the, probably the Amazon playthrough, if in the tiny map. Those two are probably... I think the Amazon was probably the most unique one, so it's probably my favorite overall, yeah. Or Amazon Warrior Woman. Oh god, I screwed up Origins so badly. Yeah, the Amazon one was super cool. Yeah, I really liked that one. One thing would have definitely changed. Logan wouldn't be a hero. A different simple script in the back of a stable report marked with red paint. Thank you, friends, for helping good Lady Karis. Saw those who asked about Harold enter third passage. Could not stay to see them exit. Yeah, I'm not using the world state from our Origins game because of how badly I screwed everything up. So I really took what Duncan told us to heart. Did you escape the Amazon? No, it ended because of a bug with a mod. It's a crappy way for it to end. For all like intents and purposes, we were at a part that we could have won. But we ended up not getting it done because of a bug with a mod. Kind of a crappy way to lose, but... Well, I understand concerns for propriety and the general addressing of the bazaar. I must caution that release is needed. We are suffering not just ongoing civil conflicts, pitting brother against sister, not just outright war pitting. If you're curious about it, yeah, the decoy thing. If you're curious about it, I actually have the scenario on Steam Workshop still. So you can go to the Steam Workshop and type in Adam vs. Everything or probably just Amazon. You'll probably find it. And it'll give you the actual scenario we started with, the rules for it, and the suggested mod list. I would probably not use the decoys, though. Yeah, I'm not going to read all the plaques, for sure. There's so many. War pitting Templar against Mage, not just the loss of our most holy and the best of our leaders. We are suffering all three. As the sky is wounded for all to see, all we know of our world is threatened, along with all we know of the next. With this most grave notation, I ask that the writs of losses and missing remain. That the citizens, however indirectly, be allowed to post the griefs of known dead and the names of hopefully living. And with them, their criticism of how they have been told or not told for a while. I have no doubt we as Orlesians will maintain our utmost composure. There must be release. There must be grief. There must be mourning. If we do not allow this simple expression, we risk a greater outburst. Let our people shed their tears, and as reserved a means as necessary. The market will be cleared in due course, but this time, we must let the simple expression stand. Ah, okay. Orlais and the Orlesians are basically kind of ritzy, well-to-do people in general. And so I guess normally they wouldn't want posters and pieces of paper and stuff, graffiti and whatever all over their alleyways, but this person is saying, don't take these down. These people need some outlet for grief. If you keep doing that, they're gonna explode. It's gonna be worse. Let them grieve. It's not hurt anyone. How'd you deal with the big mech raids with the great bows? We had all legendary great bows are better than it seems. That's how we did it. Legendary great bows. We had every single person had a legendary great bow. And since great bows only take wood, it wasn't that hard to get. Well, I mean, it took us a while to get the first one, but after we got our first legendary one, we started getting more and more pretty quickly. It wasn't always easy, but yeah. Some of the mods help with that too. Mirror de la Mer, I don't know, was cut from Val Royo in 849 Blessed Age. It was the will of the mad Emperor Reveal, who demanded a reflecting pool large enough to draw his vain deceased mother back across the veil. Many shops and vendors were evicted to make room for his folly, and several memorials to the heroes of the first 4 blights were simply toppled. The reservoir supports little in the way of life. The bottom was lined with lead to increase its reflective properties. They intended it for divination, using boats as massive planchettes. But work was not finished until the week of his own death. The waters see little use today, save for lazy or fornication. Like, people go out in the boats in this reflecting area to fornicate. Sojourns by the nobility aboard decorative gondolas. All right. Gondolas, rather. So the water's like... Yeah, he's up there trying to see if he can see anyone. But anyway, the water can't sustain any life because of the lead in it. People just go out there and get it on in their gondolas. They park in a boat on a pool made of dead woman filled with lead. Yeah, that's a weird way to put it, but yes, that's pretty much what that said. Pork in a boat on a pool made for a dead woman filled with lead. He was trying to bring her back from the dead by building a giant reflective pool. It's known now as Lake Pineapple. Trimmers, floating, taste is off, water birds die off, restocking failed, fish not fit, do not consume. Yeah, that's true, but I'm not so sure that that means anything else in this one. Right handkerchief folded around a key with a small, hastily scrawn key lifted from drum, swearing about Harold. Don't know what door. I'm out. My debt is paid. Yeah, the water graphics. When you compare this to like the first game, it's so different. Okay. Forbidden Oasis. So where do I need to take this then? Wait. Search the upper market. Upper market, right. Are those stairs or is that a dock? It just looks like dock area to me. Can I swim? I don't know if I should try it. Oh, it doesn't let you jump over it. Sad times. Can I ride my horse here? No. Or lesions not let me ride my horse. Search the upper market. What's weird though is it doesn't show like it's definitely in this zone, but it doesn't show it on this map. So how do we get to the upper market? Can't ride a horse. Can't die in the water. Stupid Orlais. Oh, she's getting up. You need another punch? Might not be able to get to the upper market yet.
This victory must please you greatly, Seeker Cassandra.
We came here seeking only to speak with the mothers. This is not our doing, but yours.
And you had no part in forcing our hand? Do not delude yourself. Now we have been shown up by our own Templars, in front of everyone.
You can't blame us for everything.
And my fellow clerics have scattered to the wind along with their convictions. Just tell me one thing. Do you truly believe you are the Maker's chosen?
I'm gonna tell her I don't know, because I actually don't.
To tell you the truth, I don't know.
That is more comforting than you might imagine. I suppose it is out of our hands now. We shall all see what the Maker plans in the days to come.
Why are you holding your stomach, by the way? What do you believe about me, old lady?
You're obviously skeptical. What do you believe I am?
Our divine, Her Holiness is dead. I have seen evidence for everything, except what would comfort me.
That doesn't answer my question.
For you to be true, a great many things must be false. And if you are false, a great many things.
That's an interesting way to say that.
There is chaos ahead, whatever your intentions.
Like, she's falling and she can't get up. She needed a life alert. That line that she just said reminds me of like what people think about aliens, right? There's a lot of people on Earth that it's like, if we ever see that they're aliens, like they make contact with Earth, it'll change everything. Especially like there's a lot of there are a lot of faiths that that it wouldn't, not only would it not mesh well, but it outright kind of claims that there can't be. I'm not going to go into which ones or whatever, right? So I guess it makes sense. It's kind of a parallel with that. Like, if that's true, then a lot of other things that they've held true for a long time must actually be false. So how can that true thing be true if that's the case? It's kind of interesting. I can understand why she would think that about it, I guess is what I'm saying. There are parallels with real life for sure. So what's the chance you're going to do now that you got your self punched?
So what happens now? Will the Chantry continue to
You know,
denounce?
Templars left.
We have already done so. And what good has it done us? Now it falls on us to select a new divine, if we can. And leave the next step to her.
Provided such a selection is even possible.
I truly don't know. Any revered mother who could have followed Justinia died at the Conclave. What becomes of us, and your Inquisition, is in the Maker's hands now.
That's what you get for putting all your eggs in one magically explosive basket. So where did the Templars go?
Where is the Lord Seeker taking the Templars?
I can't begin to guess the Lord Seeker's mind. He could not have abandoned
Her animation.
the way more completely.
There must be sense to what we can't see.
Must there? Rebellion seems popular in certain quarters, doesn't it, Seeker? Is crafting the Templars into a new power really any worse than declaring a rival to the Chantry itself?
Yeah, what does she want him to do? Let's see if she fesses up and she was really wanting the Templar to like take us away or something.
What were you hoping the Lord Seeker would do exactly?
Put aside his war against the mages and find common purpose against something.
Yeah, what's that something? The Inquisition?
Obviously, he has other plans. With the knights vigilant slain at the Conclave, there is nothing more we can do.
Perhaps there is something we can do.
I'd like to believe that, Seeker. I truly would. I suppose we can expect renewed effort against the mages from him, and yet more chaos.
How many Templars turned on the Chantry exactly?
They rebelled across Thedas. Some remained loyal, but not enough to call them the Order. The White Spire here in the capital was the largest garrison, but now it stands empty. Perhaps more shall flock to the Lord Seeker's banner now. How far has faith waned, I wonder?
So now we have the Chantry. What's left of the mages? The Templar, who are separate from the Chantry now. And the Inquisition. We're all at odds with each other, to say the least.
How are people responding to all of this?
Despair. Fear. We mourn Her Holiness. The people look to the sky and wonder how long before terror comes for us all. There must be a way through this. Is it you? The Templars? The Maker's Will? We abandoned our duties. We servants of the faith. Now we can only pray.
You can still help us.
It's not too late. The Chantry could still help us and come out on top.
If only that were true.
What's to stop you from trying?
We are not looking for a winning horse. We are simply trying to do the right thing.
Then do it with me. Wait. No. And, you know what? You shouldn't say that to the revered mother. It's not the way I meant it, but might come off the wrong way. Once have you murderized the local thugs? I know. That's what I was thinking too. And you notice she like skipped over that part when I was like, wait, what were you wanting the Templars to do exactly? And she was like, oh, she definitely didn't say that she wanted them to stop. She didn't mention us or the Inquisition specifically. It's like, oh, just wanted them to kind of stop some things going on that we didn't like. How's it going? Flipping, welcome in.
Yes.
Please move along. I'm working on it. Can I have your helmet? That I could take it from you. Not of heroes. The death of diversity. What could hold back an empire? Another. What could hold back so defined a people as Tevinter? Another. Let us consider if eldest Isarath was not meant to honor Mafrath, for the father's fate was already condemned by a hidden betrayal. Let us consider that Isarath was told to turn from ties to Mafrath, to look forward, not back. What of his actions then? So this whole series is like a devil's advocate series of the events that happen around Andraste, I guess, and Mafrath or whatever. Isarath was granted a land, well, even after she died, I guess, too, was granted a land of tribes, of scattered alliances. His answer was the grand unification, which most condemn as arrogance. Sweeping changes in trade, relocations to break local allegiances, all to favor centralized trade and power. Cities were leveled to expand a new capital. Powerful and influential city of a new nation, Val Royaux of Orlais, and all in the name of not lost Andraste, but of holding back looming Tevinter. Power was united, but cultures less so. Investing everyone in the new Orlais stratified the classes, and through it all, spread a bitterness that a Ferelden-ruled Isarath avoided the stain of his father, for he was seen as a victim too, but he was still Alamari. What if, dear readers, the final unifying element came not from accident, or even the deliberate actions of Isarath, but from a common hatred, and not the common hatred of the day? The sons of Mafrath would succeed at creating a peer for Tevinter, but only at the cost of themselves. Let's go on, Rosie. Welcome in. Good to see you, Rosie. Yeah, so now that we're doing the daytime schedule, Wednesday is going to be story day instead of story night. So we're doing Monday night story night on Wednesday mornings. Kind of weird, but...
Yes, I'm sorry.
Goodbye.
Minding the duties of...
Yeah, it looks like we can't go to the upper market for when I could... Wait. What is this place? Oh, he has oh, those are expensive. Oh, he has some like pretty good schematics. Very good. I have to remember this when we're richer and more powerful. Jagged battle axe, a tier 2 great axe schematic. Tier 2 maul. Great sword grip. Man, pommels and stuff. Please, you're playing over the shop speakers. Sell a loco or something. Sell a lock. You can type. Sell a lock. You're playing me over the speakers. I don't know if that's a good idea. Can't I just kill him and take it all? No, I don't think so. Managed to finish RPGs playing Wednesdays only? Yep. Yeah, we've played through the previous Dragon Age game. Well, we played through Origins. We played through all Mass Effects. Yeah. Takes a while. Takes several months to do sometimes. But I'm a locksmith shop. Sell padlock. If I sell a padlock, will you engrave my stream URL on the back of it so they might visit me and thank me instead of thanking you? Give them a good deal. Today only at Davies Locksmith. All padlocks are completely free. That's right. Now you won't put me on the speaker anymore. So you liked my YouTube comment, huh? You replied to it, Sue. Yeah, I don't see any way for us to get to an upper level. I mean, we went around the outside of this, but maybe we just have to come back at later times because some of these doors aren't accessible. The only doors that I found that are accessible are fast travel doors, so it's the thing that's unlocked later. Okay, so I won't screw around with it right now. Do a fast build live and edit it to put on YouTube. Yeah, I think those are good ideas. I really do. Did you? I know I told you about it, but did you end up checking out that Ants Canada channel? You think it's later too? All right. Let's get out of here then. Your wife got hooked. You know, I think I know what. I don't know why I'm telling you these YouTube channels. Have you ever watched the Marble Olympics? Some areas have multiple levels. Click the icons in the top right to view them. Wait, so how... You want to do the same with turtle racing? Wait, we can go upstairs. Nice. No, I haven't. I haven't even met very many people. They changed the name of the Marble League. What's it called now? He lost his original channel. Marble Olympics are so good. It really is. It's such high quality, like, production value. But what's really sad about the Tide Pride, what's really sad about the Marble thing is he actually did it before, years and years ago, and had amassed like 1 million subscribers or whatever. And he lost the channel or something. It got hacked and deleted. Something. He lost access to it completely. Anything with Olympics can't be used anymore because it's copyrighted. That makes sense. But then he started it back up. And it's doing better now than it was before. But man, that would be so like heartbreaking to do. Scrap and Turtle Olympics. Scrap parchment is hastily torn from an ornate document, stuffed into its hiding place with a large red sock. And we are to obey well. We meet at 3 bells, discuss how best to serve the new way. Scroll below in a misspelled script. Herald, go at time. Praise Androst. Let's reveal a time path and key to a location on the world map. The world map. So yeah, we were able to come up here, luckily. All right. A friend of Red Ginny. Man, Orlais is friggin' huge. All right, let's go.
If I might have a moment of your time.
Just go with like Turtle Ninja Warrior. Sure that won't run into any
Enchanter
copyright
Fiona?
issues or anything.
Leader of the Mage Rebellion. Is it not dangerous for you to be here?
God, so let's put
I
a shirt
heard
on.
of this gathering, and I wanted to see the fabled Herald of Andraste with my own eyes. If it's help with the breach you seek,
Oh yeah, no worries.
perhaps my people are the wiser option.
I'm surprised the leader of the mages wasn't at the conclave.
Yes. You were supposed to be, and yet somehow you avoided death.
As did the Lord Seeker, you'll note. Both of us sent negotiators in our stead in case it was a trap. I won't pretend I'm not glad to live. I lost many dear friends that day. It disgusts me to think the Templars will get away with it. I'm hoping you won't let them.
Yeah, I hope so for both of us, yeah. Might eat ramen. I'd still live the dream. What are you gonna death blow for now? You can't do it to see if you're going to go to sleep. Well, I mean, maybe you could. It's like, huh? Should I sleep for the next hour at work? Let's see what the death blow says.
So you think the Templars are responsible?
Why wouldn't she?
Lucius hardly seems broken up over his losses, if he's concerned about them at all. You heard him. You think he wouldn't happily kill the Divine to turn people against us? So yes, I think he did it. More than I think you did it, at any rate.
You get all fat and sassy now. Doing it for lunch. All right, will you help us? That's the main concern here.
Does that mean the mages will help us?
We are willing to discuss it with the Inquisition
Man,
at least.
it's dangerous for her to be here.
Consider this an invitation to Redcliffe. Come, meet with the mages. An alliance could help us both, after all. I hope to see you there. Au revoir, my Lord Herald.
Au revoir. Yes, it seems dangerous for her to even be. Can't relate. Maybe she's a like super powerful mage though. Friend of Red Ginny. Shocked enemies deal damage to other nearby enemies each time they are struck. Interesting. Fend off the guards. So that was just that one wasn't even part of this. That was just us traveling between the Orlais capital here. Is this day 2 of daytime stream? Yep. I took Monday off, so Wednesdays are story day. What level are these guys? 6? All right.
Make it take you.
No damage, no potions. How am I liking it? It's gonna take me a while to get used to it. It's a little easier today than it was yesterday. Yesterday, within like 2 hours, my eyes are burning. So I'm used to going to sleep at about 9 a.m. Not starting my stream at 9 a.m. Today, I woke up with a little bit of a headache and still really tired, but nowhere, even though I'm tired and had the headache, I'm not as sleepy as yesterday. So I'm sure after a few more days, it'll still feel weird, but at least my body will start growing accustomed to it. It's just scripted for I leave the area for her to meet us. Yeah. At first, I was like, I wasn't really sure why she was involved in this Ginny thing and didn't mention anything about it. So that makes a lot of sense.
Herald of Andraste, how much did you expend to discover me? It must have weakened the Inquisition immeasurably.
I don't know who you are.
You don't fool me. I'm too important for this to be an accident. My efforts will survive in victories against you elsewhere.
Just say what?
What is that?
He shouldn't have said what.
One, but you heard me, right? Just say what. Rich tits always try for more than they deserve.
Blah, blah, blah. Obey me. Arrow in my face. So, you followed the notes well enough. Glad to see you're kind of plain, really. All that talk, and then you're just person. I mean, it's all good, isn't it? The important thing is you glow. You're the herald thingy.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were talking about earlier because I'm blind this whole game. I know no one, so I don't even know that's her now, other than you saying her name. Some say that. Who are you?
Some believe I'm the Herald of Andraste. But who are you? And what's this about?
No idea. I don't know this idiot from Manners. My people just said the Inquisition should look at him.
Your people? Elves?
No. People. Name's Sarah. This is cover. Get round it. For the reinforcements. Don't worry. Someone tipped me their equipment shed. They've got no breaches.
I'm gonna get a Steam pop-up. I'll check it after this recording.
Because no breaches.
What the crap? Why aren't they wearing pants? Because it's the middle of the night. He just looked at him, now he's dead.
Friends really came through with that tip.
She stole them.
No breaches.
Yeah.
So, Herald of Andraste. You're a strange one.
So they didn't have any pants to put on when they got up in the middle of the night to defend. Can't look at dead people.
How about we get to know each other first? You know, names and such.
One name. No, wait, two. Well, it's like this. I sent you a note to look for hidden stuff by my friends. The Friends of Red Jenny. That's me. Well, I'm one. So is a fence in Montfort, some woman in Kirkwall. There were 3 in Starkhaven, brothers or something. It's just a name, yeah? It lets little people, friends, be part of something while they stick it to nobles they hate. So here, in your face, I'm Sarah. The Friends of Red Jenny are sort of out there. I use them to help you. Plus arrows.
I knew the joke kind of ends when you killed him, really. It's true.
The Inquisition has spies already. Can you add to these professionals?
Here's how it is. You important people are up here, shoving your cods around. Blah, blah, I'll crush you. I'll crush you. Ooh, crush you. Then you've got cloaks and spy kings, like this tit. Or was he one of the little knives, all serious with his little knife? All those secrets, and what gave him up? Some houseboy who don't know shite, but knows a bad person when he sees one. So no, I'm not knifey shiv dark, all hidden. But if you don't listen down here too, you risk your breeches. Like those guards, I stole their... Look, do you need people or not? I want to get everything back to normal. Like you.
All right, Sarah. I can use you and your friends.
Yes.
Definitely don't want her to be on your bad
Too big to
side.
like. That'll keep your breeches where they should be. Plus extra breeches because I have all these. You have merchants who buy that piss, yeah? Got to be worth something. Anyway, Haven. See you there, Herald. This will be grand.
All right, we got our first person. I mean, aside from the starting one, party selection. Well, we're still gonna take Cassandra. I'm gonna put her in the party for now. Sarah and Solus to shield us. All right, let's check her out. What do you have, lady? We have 7 points to spend. What? Another character that's going to draw your attention constantly? Yeah, she was pretty awesome. Awesome first impressions. That guy shouldn't have said the word what. She warned him. So we can actually spec her any way that we want. I don't know how I want to spec her yet, though. You love her so much. Do you have a wizard? I don't know. The voice for it? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it. What I'm gonna put on her. Or Leeming or Azula. You're gonna check. Every time you say her name. Oh, that's true too, yeah. I am her. Whee! An aggressive bow. Too many breaches. We took the breeches. I can break these? See if there's anything up there and then we'll leave. Loot. With her stock. She had all their pants. It's, more loots. 76 gold, not bad. Oh, there's actually more space in here than I thought. It's not them, just similar voice. Alright, cool. You like different party members? Don't think you took Sarah on any missions? Great variety. Again, yeah, you were a rogue, yeah. So I can see that. Like, I'll be less if we find someone that's DPS, damage dealing warrior, I probably won't take them very much because that's what I am. So it might end up playing out much differently, which is good. All right, which one is this one? Imperial Enchanter. First Enchanter of Montsamard. Right, go to the salon. We'll do that. Turtles and chill. Turtles and chill. Yeah, customers. It's good to see you take a risk. Hope it pays off for you. Enjoy the day, stream. Thank you, Davey. Appreciate the 500 bits, man. Helps out a lot. I'm sure you know. Thank you, Davey. Always take more damage. Damage all you ever need. Well, I just wouldn't take another melee damage warrior type. Great Griffin's voice. All right, let's go. Yeah, thank you, Davey. After extensive, we won't get to read all this. This is gonna load way before this is done. Yeah, let's see. Now I'm gonna try. Our outfit is kind of like Duncan's from the first game, actually, right? No, I'm thinking about it.
Trevelyan of Ostwick, representing the Inquisition.
Yeah, you can do this solo. You can do this whole game solo.
A pleasure, sir. We so rarely have.
And then there's an achievement for it or something.
It is always the same crowd at these parties. So you must be a guest of Madame de Fer. Or are you here for Duc Bastien?
Are you here on business? I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of them are true.
What have you heard about me?
Some say that when the veil opened, Andraste herself delivered you from the Fade.
I'm not familiar with that name. I was invited here by First Enchanter Vivienne.
Madame de Fer is a fond nickname the court has given Lady Vivienne.
I've heard she finds it amusing.
Very fancy party to have your nipples all hanging out. It's the newest fashion. Trust me. You want to make an impression ham sandwich? Go out with your nipples out like this.
I've heard very little about Duke Bastien.
You want a ham? Welcome
He
in.
hasn't been seen much at court lately.
His business with the Council of Heralds often takes him from home for long periods. It can't be good for
Doing
a
that
man of
work
his
right
years.
now.
And of course, there's the Civil War. Bastien probably wishes to distance himself from the actions of his one-time son-in-law.
Tearing up the Dales in a foolish bid for power? It will end in disgrace for Gaspard. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, what have you heard about me?
Some of those storytellers may have gotten carried away.
But only for the best effect. The Inquisition is a ripe subject for wild tales.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sisters and crazed seekers. No one can take them seriously. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
Tim, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, Tim. Seems my character waxes. No, it's removed magically. Magic hair removal.
The Inquisition is working to restore peace and order to Thedas.
Here comes the outsider, restoring peace with an army. We know what your Inquisition truly is. If you were a man of honor, you'd step outside and answer the charges.
My dear Marquis, how unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests. You know such rudeness is intolerable.
Madame Vivienne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should. Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear? My lord, you're the wounded party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with
Kill him.
this foolish, foolish man?
I could actually say kill him. I was joking. I'm not gonna say that. Screen here. What else have they done?
I think the Marquis has seen the error of his ways.
By the grace of Andraste, you have your life, my dear. Do be more careful with it. I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you.
Game Grumps. I know it by name, but yeah, I've never watched any of their
Allow me
stuff.
to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first enchanter of Montsimard and enchantress to the
Montsimard.
Imperial Court.
Is that Marquis going to pose a problem?
His aunt is the Vicomtesse of Mont de Glace. Not a powerful family, but well respected. And very devout. Alphonse will be disowned for this. It's not the first time he's brought his aunt disgrace, but I'm sure it'll be the last. And after such a public humiliation, I expect he'll run off to the Dales to join the Empress's war effort. Either to make a good end, or to win back a modicum of self-respect.
Now he wrecks the world because you didn't kill him. It kind of reminds me of the that imprisoned mage in the first one that we had to choose whether to kill or whatever, and I didn't, but it ended up that he really was. Kidding, yeah, but it does remind me of that. Dragon Age, that's not unusual, yeah. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Charmed, Lady Vivian.
Ah, but I didn't invite you to the chateau for pleasantries. With Divine Justinia dead, the Chantry's in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
We can romance her? What are loyal mages?
You say you led the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
So you're in favor of returning the mages to the Circle, then?
Where else can mages safely learn to master their talents? We need an institution to protect and nurture magic. Maker knows, magic will find neither on its own.
What's in this for you?
The same thing anyone gets by fighting this chaos. The chance to meet my enemy, to decide my fate. I won't wait quietly for destruction.
Who is that, North, and what else have they done?
Are you devout? What's your opinion of the Chantry?
I was a great admirer of the late Divine Justinia V. The Chantry, at its best, unites the disparate cultures of Thedas and looks after its most vulnerable. Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so much.
What exactly can you do for the Inquisition?
I am well versed in the politics of the Orlesian Empire. I know every member of the Imperial Court personally.
One
I
moment.
have all the resources remaining to the Circle at my disposal. And I'm a mage of no small talent. Will that do?
Banlish, thank you for the raid and the host. Those joining from Banlish stream, welcome back. I'm Adam. This is Adam versus Everything. We just switched over to daytime streams. This is only my second daytime stream. I'm sorry if you're new to the stream, you won't be able to type right now. We had to do that because we play these story-based games once a week. So, only on Wednesdays. And we had people spoiling it. And even though I'm sure most of you would not spoil things in it, you'll be able to type the rest of the week. I usually don't have follower mode on, and I usually don't like it, but we had to do it because of people spoiling story aspects. So if you do want to host anyone else instead because of that, Banlish, no hard feelings at all. But thank you, Banlish. How's it going, man? Silky Paws, welcome in. Usually we do challenge modes in games, challenge runs of strategy games, mostly turn-based and real-time. But on Wednesdays, we play a story-based game, and we're currently playing through a blind playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition every Wednesday. The rest of the week, we're playing a RimWorld challenge. Sunshine, welcome back. Thank you, Sunshine. Do all the spoiling. You like stuff? Figured it's a great time to bring folks to you. Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm sorry that it's on that mode. It usually isn't. So if anyone heads out, no hard feelings. GTA 5 Party, thank you for the follow. And Keys, thank you for the follow as well. Thank you, Banlish. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's a weird adjustment. So if you want to see us during our normal content, we'll be playing RimWorld the rest of the week. Just Wednesdays are story days. Oh yeah. I think I hit it pretty much. But yeah, we just switched over to daytime, so 9 a.m. to about 3 p.m., maybe a little bit later Eastern. But yeah, we mainly do chill. A lot of people call this the stream like chill masochism. We usually do super hard playthroughs of games, like challenge runs in Darkest Dungeon. I have a couple of world first challenges done in Darkest Dungeon. Have some records for the game. RimWorld. We just finished some challenge runs of They Are Billions, but we do it in like a chill way. Chill masochism. Yeah. Thank you, Banlish. How you been, Silky? It's been a little while since I saw you. Hope you've been well. It's good to see you again. All right, you guys are just in time for me to flirt with this new lady we just met. We just saw her. Well, she almost killed a man. Let's flirt with her. Seems good.
Is your interest in the Inquisition
Senpai does notice you. Enjoy your complimentary waifu
You
and all the
charming.
gasms that follow.
It's professional, of course.
Defective Inspector, I do notice you. Enjoy your waifus. Isn't it crazy? Anywhere we can put it in this game. Back's acting bad. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. What were you playing? What were you playing today? All right, we're gonna say welcome aboard. She can definitely help. Anyone? Gotta get some pain meds. Bad times. 911 operator. Gotcha. Yeah, thank you. I really do appreciate
be happy to have you
the raid and host.
Great things are beginning, my
It's not
dear.
really a great
I can promise you
representation
that.
of what the stream usually is, but if you're looking for a new, chill, masochistic place to hang out, or to enjoy some story games on Wednesdays, feel free to hang out, lurk, participate. You can also check out some of my challenge runs and my world first stuff on YouTube if you would like. Same name on YouTube as on here. Thank you, Baelish. Kura on lots of missions. Yeah, she seems... I like both of these people we just met. They seem pretty neat and completely in opposite ways. The Sarah one gives off kind of a, I don't know, Harley Quinn-ish elf kind of vibe. This one, I don't know, I liked her too. You're a wee bit surprised. Yeah, I'm having to do a daytime schedule. Maybe temporarily. Actually, let's go talk to Cassandra and Cullen so we did some main story quests. And let me check on our recording time. Yeah, let me cut the recording there. That's a good place to cut it. And then we'll start a new one. And we'll go for another like hour and a half probably.